Can you talk a little bit about the Indians' surprising start?
Well, the Indians' surprising start is not really a surprise to me. I picked them to be in the top 3 in that division. They got off to a good start last year. It's just a matter of whether or not their pitching can keep them in it and they can stay healthy.
I know as a bullpen guy, you take a look at the depth in the Indians' bullpen. How important is that going to be, especially in the late months of the season?
Well, bullpen depth is going to be huge, as we've already seen this year. There's been so many blown saves, so many blown holds. If you have a bullpen that can hold up over the course of 162 games and make your wins stand up after the 8th inning, you've got a leg up on a lot of teams, because a lot of teams right now are struggling in that area.
Your impression on the Tribe's closer, Chris Perez?
Well, Chris is a guy that's got a good fastball. He's got a decent breaking ball. To look at him, he doesn't look like a guy that's in the greatest shape in the world, but to come out and do what he's done over the last couple of years and prove that he has the mentality to be a closer and be an effective one, I think he's done a great job for him. It's just a matter of the guys in front of him, Tony Sipp, these guys, can they get the ball into his hands?
How about the start of Derek Lowe?
Derek Lowe, for me, hasn't resurrected his career. He's resurrected the fact that he's gotten his fingers back on top of the baseball. Anytime you watch him pitch, when he gets his fingers around the side of the baseball, everything stays on the same plane. And when I watch him pitch this year, for his sinker to work, a sinker baller's fingers have got to be here. And Derek had gotten himself to a point where his fingers were over here around the side. Well, when a sinker baller throws with his fingers on the side, the ball never leaves the barrel. It stays on plane. Now, when they're up here, he gets that kind of movement on his breaking ball as well as his sinker. So that is what the big difference for me is in what Derek's done so far this year.
I know it's early in the season, but is it too early to believe that the Indians have what it takes to almost go wire to wire and hold off a really good Tigers team?
I'm not going to jump out and say that. Not with Detroit in that division. I think Detroit is a class of that division, and over the course of 162 games, I just don't see any team in that division that can stay with the Tigers. I think the Tigers are too deep. Unless they get decimated by injuries, I think the Tigers are going to win that division. That's just my feeling on it.
In your opinion, what is going to be the biggest key for the Tribe to win the division?
Health, pitching. Their starting pitching has got to continue to throw the ball well, and Chris Perez has to make wins stand up. If they get to the 9th inning with a lead, he's got that pressure of making that win stand up. You cannot give games away late in the ball game. The 8th and 9th inning are going to be huge for the Cleveland Indians, and a lot of that pressure is going to fall on Chris Perez.
Mitch, we really appreciate your time. Great work on the MLB Network. We'll watch you each and every weekday night, 6 o'clock on MLB Tonight. Thanks again for checking in with us.
My pleasure. Anytime, guys.